Welcome back. An Indiana woman may be the oldest person to receive the COVID-19 vaccine.
Ooh.
Just days after celebrating her 111th birthday, Bernice Bohannon got her first dose of the vaccine in Indianapolis.
Wow.
So,
awesome.
She survived the Spanish flu in 1918, married her childhood sweetheart at 16. This is her right here. She's kind of lived a long and healthy life.
Look at her. She's so cute.
Now, she was together for 53 years, raised 3 children together, and she's outlived all of her family.
Oh,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, she said the shot wasn't that bad.
Yeah. I mean, she's been through a lot. I feel like a little shot, just whatever.
We're good.
Just something.
The least of her concerns, right? Jeez, that's amazing.
Exactly. Okay, we've got another sweet story of a grandmother for you and a sweet COVID-19 reunion. This happened in the Bronx, and an actual prescription from a doctor for a hug. So it had been a year since Evelyn Shaw had hugged anyone, let alone her family members, but her granddaughter was able to come over and give her a hug because her doctor actually wrote in her prescription you are allowed to hug your granddaughter after getting the vaccine.
Sometimes you just need someone to tell you you can.
That's,
you know what I mean?
That's exactly what she said. She's like, I was just in COVID land. It was really scary. Seeing that on my prescription just gave me the hope and the peace that I needed. And she said it was an out-of-body, blissful experience getting to hug her granddaughter.
And that smile is there, what makes it worth it.
So cute.
That's wonderful right there. I like that he had the presence of mind to write her the prescription.
Totally.
For sure. What else he can get a prescription for? You know what I mean?
Well, imagine going to your local pharmacy. Hey, do you have any hugs in stock? Well, they got plenty. So.
There's a line there. You don't want to go and do too much, but nonetheless, kind of fun.
Right.
A man in Pennsylvania being praised for saving his neighbor from a burning building. The community in Norristown, Pennsylvania, honoring Marine Corps veteran James Cowboy Johnson. He saved his neighbor from their house that caught on fire.
What?
So, yeah, he's 70 years old, got home, he saw the fire, he called 911, and then with the help of 2 boys, kicked in one of the doors.
Oh, my gosh.
He has lung issues, but he's like, you know what, not worried about that. Ran inside and rescued a man on the 2nd floor.
Incredible.
Jeez.
Wild.
Talk about a cowboy. I love that his nickname is already Cowboy.
Oh,
He's already, ready for those feats of bravery.
So as you can guess, right, the fire department was like, oh, yeah, way to go, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah. I love having that guy. That's the guy you want as your neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Should we show you this cool site in Ireland?
Let's do
It is St. Patrick's Day, and they celebrated last night with an impressive light show.
Ooh.
500 drones flew over Dublin. So these drones created different shapes, different colors. The show is called the Orchestra of Light. Normal St. Patrick's Day celebrations mostly muted this year, but of course they have some of those. I hope we have it here for you to see.
I'm excited. Jeez.
Right? 670 landmarks, 66 countries shows just like this.
Ooh.
Right, there you go. These are the drones we're talking about. Obviously, this is Ireland, right? And this is
Look
all
at that.
in the air.
That's a drone.
That's
it
pretty
looks like a
sweet.
sign.
It does. It's not. This is just drones flying around in the air.
Wow. We've been seeing these for a while, but I'm not over it. Like, I just
Look
don't
at that.
understand how they're that precise in the air.
Yeah, it's all they all work through GPS,
So
you just
cool.
coordinates.
Math.
So.
It's math is what it is.
It's nuts.
Really
is what
cool
it is.
stuff.
So if you're having your kids out there watching this morning, you go, should I go to math class today? That's why you go to math class.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, so cool.
Pretty cool.
That's why I went to math class, because without the math, I wouldn't be here either, and the science, obviously. But we've been talking about so far this morning how amazing our weather's going to be today, and it's a pot of golden sunshine, is what we're calling it.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Well, look at him. I mean, he's doing the Irish jig dance because he's so excited about today. And we're talking also about some sham rockin' temps, because when you're dealing with nearly 60 degrees with all the sunshine, why not? But we're also going to celebrate safely, of course, this evening here. If you're heading out and about, at the 8 p.m. hour, you're looking at 52. So what about your 7-day forecast in St. George? Well, 61 goes to 70, goes to 75 as the winds start to increase Friday. And we'll see a cool down here through the weekend as we, of course, ring in spring on Saturday for the Wasatch Front. 59, 65, 69 here. Windy conditions develop on Friday, and that'll be from the south. Oh, look, we have a new incident that I'll have to get to here in the next 10 or so minutes when I can get to it. But overall, outside of that incident, traffic is actually running smoothly. If we're heading into the Wasatch back, though, look at that. No problems whatsoever. And so your drive times are great as well.
Nice. All right, we've got a baby birthday this morning. It's a good one. This is Brandt Nielsen.
Oh,
look
boy.
at him.
Oh, look at that little face.
Oh my gosh. So not quite a St. Paddy's baby. He was actually turned 1 yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Still so cute. I love that we get to wish him happy birthday today. He's a year old. He loves to play with his older brother, ride the horse with mom and dad. He's apparently very curious and empties any cupboard he can find.
Of course.
So just slight terror in his home, but cute enough to keep. So cute. Happy birthday, Brandt. We love celebrating with your family. Email us news@abc4.com to have a shout out on air.
I like that there's a story behind that. You know, it's like, okay, like he got into the cupboards again.
What did he find this time?
Yeah. All right. It is Wednesday. It is March 17th. Here's your fun national holidays today. Can you guess the theme today?
I think we can.
St. Patrick's Day?
Okay. It's National Corned Beef and Cabbage Day. Obviously, it's one of those traditional meals for St. Patrick's Day. I mean, I don't know if you've had corned beef and cabbage, but man, oh man, is it delicious.
It's like one of those things that having it for the first time was like kind of, like I was like, this is not going to be good. But it was delicious.
It is delicious.
So good.
I'm going to tell you
food at
a
its
hint.
finest.
I'm going to tell you something, though. So my mom, she has a little recipe to go to corned beef. She glazes the corned beef with a mixture, ketchup, mustard, brown sugar.
Okay, that sounds delicious.
Unbelievable. And so as kids growing up, we thought it tasted like candy, so we called it candy meat, let alone it's actually corned beef.
I love it.
Amazing glaze on it.
So good. A little bit of a local shout out here. One of my favorite food places in Utah is called Ruska's Kolaches. They're these delicious like buns filled with warm, delicious goodness. And today on St. Patrick's Day, they're doing like a corned beef and hash.
Oh, they are?
Version of their kolache.
Two locations.
They've got
Fork.
3 locations.
Oh,
American
3
Fork,
locations.
Salt Lake, and Provo.
Whoa.
Sarah put me onto it, and it is really, really good. Go check it out. Here, Jimmy at 6 right after this. Now on GMU at 6, a frightening SWAT standoff in Pleasant Grove. See how a man allegedly shooting at police from his balcony forced neighbors to shelter in place.
And Moderna now testing vaccines on children. How many kids will participate in that trial?
Good morning. Projections from the National Retail Federation show St. Patrick's Day spending is down compared to last year, but businesses in downtown Salt Lake remain hopeful it'll boost the economy. Coming up, we are live with potential economic impacts.
Plus, with high pressure now in control, we're in for a wow Wednesday for our St. Patrick's Day. We're breaking the whole forecast down coming up.
Live from Utah's first TV station, Good Morning Utah at 6 starts now.
Good morning, Utah. I'm Brian Carlson.
And I'm Sarah Martin. It is 6 a.m. on this Wednesday.
Utah bar and restaurants are looking forward to St. Patrick's Day today. Although spending is expected to be down with COVID-19, the holiday may carry the economic luck many businesses need. ABC4's Jared Jatini is live in downtown Salt Lake with why they're optimistic. Good morning, Jared.
Good morning. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, celebrating Irish culture, usually a time for friends and families to get together at a bar or a restaurant. This is the first holiday since Governor Cox announced max vaccines come April 1st, and experts say that could stimulate spending. And that's because, according to the National Retail Federation, nationwide St. Patrick's Day spending is down by just over $1 billion. Americans expected to spend $5.14 billion today, compared to $6.16 billion last year. The amount of people celebrating at a bar or restaurant is also down. The NRF reporting 10% of Americans plan to celebrate at an establishment, compared to 27% last year. Despite these declining numbers, the Salt Lake Alliance says this holiday is coming at the right time for business.
We expect this year, of course, to be a little bit different, but we do see people feeling more confident to go out as they are vaccinated, as we have become accustomed to the physical distancing necessary in restaurants and bars, and people are masked up, as are servers.
The downtown area is in the moderate transmission level of the pandemic, so again, there are still some strict social distancing guidelines in place. People and workers must wear a face mask, but more tables are allowed to be sat inside. Back out here live, we are at Oh Shucks Bar in downtown Salt Lake. It's half sushi bar, half Irish pub. Not sure how they came up with that combo, but you can see they've got a lot of specials today to stimulate folks to get out and spend some money and take advantage of the nice weather that we're having. They're supposed to have a bagpipes performance here later this evening. So all fun, all the businesses, everyone's super excited to hopefully get back to some normalcy today. Live, Jared Jatini, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Jared. Utah Highway Patrol will be out in full force tonight to keep everyone safe during the St. Patrick's Day. More than 50 DUI enforcement shifts have been added to help keep drunk drivers off of roads. Troopers say the number of alcohol-related crashes definitely increases on the holiday. Over the past 4 years, there's been an average 22 alcohol-related crashes across Utah on St. Patty's Day.
And a man who allegedly took out a gun and started firing at police from his balcony is now in custody this morning. It follows a nearly 6-hour SWAT standoff yesterday in Pleasant Grove near 5th North and 5th East. Police say the man had started firing the gun from his balcony and even shot at officers as they responded to the home. Neighbors had to shelter in place while police used gas to get the man out of the house. That man eventually surrendered.
There's mental health issues here that have gone untreated. I understand this individual is a lot different when he's on his medication. So yeah, it's a mental health issue.
Now, police took the man to a local hospital to be checked out both physically and mentally.
Now to South Salt Lake, police have arrested a man connected to a murder there this weekend thanks to tips from the public. The murder happened near 2200 South 4th East early Saturday morning. A multi-day search led investigators to 24-year-old Ashish Bishwa. They say he shot his friend, 26-year-old Mustafa Hassini, over a cigarette. Thanks to tips from the public, investigators found Bishwa not too far from his townhome late last night.
Sharing information, providing critical tips, and responding to our requests for assistance. It takes the entire community to keep the entire community safe.
Police tell us the suspect had a long rap sheet including robbery and possession of a weapon by a restricted person.
All right, 6:04. Let's check your weather on the 4s for St. Patrick's Day. Adam, would you call it a sham rockin' forecast?
Well, you could call it that. I said a sham rockin' temps, but pot of golden sunshine.
Oh, okay.
There you go, because that's what we're going to have out there today. Though we're seeing a little bit of the foggy side of things here across Cedar City this morning on the Southern Utah University camera network. You can see the fog here more or less. It is on the dense side in some spots here across Cedar City, but you can see as well getting a little bit near or around the airport down to a quarter of a mile. Luckily, they're not doing anything in the way of flights right now, but also we've got a half a mile visibility in and around the Rock Springs area, and there'll be other areas on the central part of the state. You're seeing also some fog as well, but we had some early morning snow showers here, especially over the high terrain of the Elko County area. However, most of the area has been under clear skies. High pressure now moving in here, and we're under a blanket of sunshine today. 25 though in Evanston, 36 in Vernal, 35 Milford, 32 Blanding, 24 in Ely. That's the cold spot because of the clear skies. And we're actually really starting to clear things up around the area right now. So mainly clear, a little bit on the warmer side of things compared to normal, but you'll still want to have an extra layer out there. But when you see that sun come up, you're going to notice how beautiful of a day it's going to be. Below average temperatures are expected again today across southwestern Utah. The rest of the state either going to be near or above average. Traffic-wise, we do have one new incident to report here. A US 40, pretty much just outside of Park City and just north of Heber. Unfortunately, it's right between two cameras, so I can't get on top of it and show you the actual incident itself, but it's at exit 8, right pretty much where the Mayflower exit is on US 40. But outside of that, everything else is smooth sailing.
All right, thanks, Adam. To Utah County now, the search for that hiker lost in American Fork Canyon has come to a tragic end. The Utah County Sheriff's Office found a body yesterday morning near a parking lot in American Fork Canyon. They believe it is likely 28-year-old Bobby Healy of Saratoga Springs. He's been missing since Sunday. Crews eventually spotted that body using a helicopter. They say it looks like the person fell about 200 feet down a cliff.
You know, something like this is almost indescribable for family. They're having a difficult time.
At least we're able to bring some closure to the family.
The medical examiner does still need to positively identify that body. They hope to have confirmation soon.
And a man in Little Cottonwood Canyon is now being charged for trying to destroy trees blocking his view at Snowbird. Police say 77-year-old Gabor Kotai dumped gallons of fuel on trees owned by Snowbird back in November. He claimed they blocked his view. He's now charged with criminal mischief. Damage there estimated at $20,000.
A new milestone now in the fight against COVID-19. Moderna will begin testing its COVID vaccine on children. The vaccine trial enrolling kids as young as 6 months up to 12 years old. 7,000 children expected to participate in the U.S. and Canada. Researchers say the first step here, finding the appropriate dose.
Children often need lower doses of vaccines than adults, so we want to make sure we find the best dose that increases their immunity.
Moderna now the first U.S. vaccine maker to test on infants. Both Moderna and Pfizer already conducting trials for children 12 and older. They hope to have results by this summer.
And here's your morning update on COVID-19. Utah had 481 new cases yesterday. That brings our state total to 379,000. Utah has administered 1,027,000 doses of the vaccine. 171 COVID patients are currently being treated in Utah hospitals, and 5 more Utahns have died for a total of 2,032. Looking at our last 7 days, Utah is averaging 492 new cases a day. Our testing positivity rate now 8.3%.
Those vaccinated numbers keep going up, and doctors at the University of Utah say that's a great thing. During a weekly COVID update yesterday, U of U health teams said they've given about 40,000 doses so far, and they cleared the air on vaccine type. When asked which one people should get out of the 3 offered, doctors say the one that's right in front of you.
Whatever appointment you can get first, that is the best vaccine for you. They're all great vaccines. They all have the same percentage of effectiveness against death and severe disease. So our recommendation is to get whatever vaccine you can get the soonest.
They add the side effects of these vaccines are all usually mild and a sign that your immune system is doing its job. They say most people should recover in a day or 2.
And students at the University of Utah won't be getting a spring break this year, and now the university is explaining why. The U issued a travel policy for employees until June 30th. It's meant to help track and reduce the chance of spreading COVID-19. The U says they need to make that consistent with students, which is why they decided to cancel spring break.
All right, the new stimulus bill packed a lot more than just stimulus checks. There's actually money going right to college students. Now that it's signed, we know this bill does not forgive any student loans, but it does help students in other ways. The first is funding for FAFSA, the second emergency grant funding through schools. Just like the first stimulus bill, these grants are needs-based, do not need to be paid back. And finally, it establishes any future student loan forgiveness will be tax-free for the borrower. The details, though, right there are still a little fuzzy.
I think we'll have to wait for some guidance to come from the Department of Education to really know what that means and what it looks like.
The bottom line here, if you are or if you know a college student, this is the year to apply for all the financial aid you can find. A slice of that $1.9 trillion pie could help you pay for school. In Carbon County, now St. Patrick's Day lasting all week long. The city of Price hosting their annual St. Paddy's Day parade on Saturday morning. That route travels down Main Street beginning at noon. Face masks and social distancing are encouraged for both parade watchers and participants. The parade will be live streamed as well on Price City's Facebook page.
The time now 6:11. Coming up on GMU, 8 people killed in a deadly shooting spree at massage parlors in Atlanta. Hear how the shooter may have targeted a specific group. And one student giving back to her community. See how she set up a blood drive at Salt Lake Community College in a live interview.
Time now for your weather on the 4s.
All right, welcome back, Utah, on this St. Patrick's Day. I have to admit, I totally forgot to wear green this morning, Adam. You can't wear green because you're in front of a green screen.
Look at this, Sarah. You see what happens when you have your green on or your green's in front of you?
Yep.
What we call keys it all out.
You've disappeared.
Well, I do disappear, see? But that's why we don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day, because it looks ridiculous if you did. Now, in terms of temperatures out there right now, we're looking at 20s and 30s across places like Wendover and areas of eastern Nevada. 27, though, McGill, 29 in Wells. 20s and 30s here across the far northern portions of Utah, 36 in Tremont, and 29 in Huntsville, 29 in Preston, 28 Morgan, 25 Colville, 35 Layton, 37 in Bountiful. Also, we're looking at 30s and 40s here across the central Wasatch Front. Places like Twilla's at 30, 39 Cottonwood Heights, 31 Pleasant Grove, 36 in Elkridge in the southern Wasatch Front. And we're going to get into the 40s by 9, 50s by noon, and near 60 degrees here later into the afternoon hours, making for a wild Wednesday with mostly sunny skies. You're not going to see a lot of wind today, but we'll start seeing it later into tomorrow and Friday. Now, we've got a major situation developing here across the southeast where they're under the highest risk from the Storm Prediction Center for both tornadoes and also severe weather. And this is the first time they've had this in March since 2012, and the first time they've been in the high, which is level 5 of 5, in 2 years. So this is a major situation that's developing. It's already starting here as it progresses into Arkansas right now. Locally, it's high pressure and control, and that's what we're going to see here for the remainder of the day. As we move through time, we'll see more or less some partly cloudy skies over the mountains, where more or less southerly breezes develop here across eastern Nevada. As we move through time, though, more clouds mixed in with sunshine tomorrow, and then breezy southerly winds start to kick in here across eastern Nevada and also Utah. A front's on its way, though, and gets here later on Friday, and it will start cranking those winds ahead of it. Precipitation behind it, primarily north of Salt Lake. During this time frame as well, but it will cross through Friday night, that front, and when it does, it's going to start bringing temperatures down, and we're going to see a pretty significant decrease of temperatures between Friday and Saturday. But car wash for the next few days. Hey, mostly sunny today, a mix of sun and clouds over the next 2 days, but Friday's a yellow day because by the time we get to Saturday, we're going to have rain, so you may not want to wash your car. 59 in Salt Lake, 61 St. George, 49 Price, 58 Moab. Those are foggy icons here to start off the day, with mostly sunny skies to end it. 61 in St. George, 70, 75 breezy on Friday. Will stay breezy thereafter, but spring is coming on Saturday and will be 68 in St. George, 59, 65, 69 on Friday with those late evening showers to our north. Windy as well. Much cooler over the weekend. I know Lagoon's opening up. It doesn't look like a great opening day for Lagoon in terms of the weather. We do have that incident here along US 40 here in the Wasatch back between Park City and Heber, getting a little bit closer to that. No camera on top of that, but it doesn't look like it's doing much to slow you down. Unfortunately, I-80 remains closed eastbound here at Evanston, and there's all the trucks waiting to find word that you can go eastbound.
This morning, we're talking about the importance of being kind to others. Now, one way you can pay kindness forward is by donating blood. Every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood donations. Those donors can help save someone's life at hospitals across the country. So this winter, the Utah Red Cross encouraged people to spread kindness. They even rewarded that kindness with a scholarship. So joining me today in studio is Sherry Van Bibber with Utah Red Cross. So you're here with me in person. And then we have the winner for that scholarship, Janae Ackerman. She's joining us through Zoom this morning. Janae, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Great, so we can hear we can hear Janae this morning. I'm sure we'll see you in a second. There you are. Great to see both of you ladies here this morning. Sherry, before we get to Janae, let me start here with you. What was this kindness scholarship you created?
This is a scholarship that we have for a program that's called Leaders Saves Lives. It's for any of our students between 16 and 24 that would like to do something to pay it forward. And they can run blood drives and anywhere, anyhow. We help them do as much as possible. We do. We ask them to do about like a 25 goal, and they can go anywhere up from there. And so the scholarships impact depending on how many the event. And we have about 7 scholarships. We do 3 seasons. We do a summer one coming up starting June 1st to August 31st. We do a December one when the students are all out of school because we don't have the schools or the colleges or the students being able. This year has been really tough, so we've had this special one that we've done for the winter or for the spring. That's actually going to go through May 31st, so any of the students that want to run a drive will have the opportunity to go for a scholarship. There's 7 of them.
So there's a lot there. There's a lot there that you can do for opportunities. So, Janae, so you heard about this scholarship opportunity. What did you do with it?
I actually heard of the scholarship opportunity when I was still in high school. I did some extracurriculars in the health science field, and I originally heard of the program through that when I was setting up blood drives in high school. It wasn't until I was out of high school, though, in my first semester of college, I lost one of my best friends in high school. She passed away unexpectedly and needed emergency blood transfusions during emergency surgery and needed 110 units of blood and ultimately passed away. When I heard the news and was in contact with her family, they told me that they felt as if it was their duty to replace that blood. And so we set up a blood drive in her honor, and we did end up replacing that blood.
That's a wonderful thing, and it sounds like this was something that was very personal to you.
Mm-hmm. It was so unexpected. I mean, when someone needs blood, usually it is unexpected. You never when somebody is going to need blood as a life-saving intervention. You know, that day, the first half of that day was a normal day for me. You know, I didn't expect that. I wasn't prepared for that, and nobody is. And that's the point. Anybody you know at any given moment could need blood as a life-saving intervention, and that's why it is so important to donate and so important to encourage others to donate and to set up blood drives, because we need so much blood. When Faith passed away, they used all the blood that they had at her hospital and at surrounding hospitals to try and save her. So that's I work in the emergency department, and in my time there, I've seen so many blood transfusions just in my short time there. We really do need blood. We need people to donate, and we need blood drives being set up so we can collect that blood.
Well, obviously you hear the reason for the cause. We're so grateful to the work that you did, and obviously it got the attention of the Red Cross here. Congratulations on the scholarship. And
thank you.
Sherry, if people want to learn more about how they can connect with that, get scholarships of their own if they're high school students out there, or if they want to donate blood at any of these blood donations, how do they connect with you?
We want them to go to the website, theredcross.org/youth programs, and there's all different kinds. Cesar Chavez, there's sickle cell, there's all different kinds of programs, and they can run those under this youth program. Also, from April 1st to the 30th, we have a new thing that we're promoting. Any students from 16 to 24 will get a $10 card back for attempting to donate. So
well, that's
we
great.
want
so you
to
get paid a little bit.
Yeah, we want to incentivize them to pay it forward.
There you go. And of course, a lot of paying it forward today. So Janae, thanks for joining us. If you're still on the phone there with us, and of course, Sherry, thanks for joining us here in the studio. Ladies, congratulations, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Such incredible youth in our state. 6:22 now. Coming up next on Good Morning Utah, a series of deadly shootings kill people, multiple people in Atlanta. Why the targets in those attacks show a disturbing trend. And a dramatic rescue now in Idaho. This truck dangling from a chain. How the family inside survived.
Time now for your weather on the 4s.
Well, we've been talking about it all morning long, how nice your St. Patrick's Day is looking here for our valleys. Mainly sunny skies, a pot of golden sunshine pretty much with some shamrock and temps because we're going to be nearing 60 degrees by 4 p.m. And then we're just going to want to celebrate safely here heading into the evening hours if you're heading out and about to some downtown spots to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Temperatures will still be 52. St. George, those 61, 70, 75, breezy here beginning Friday all the way into next Tuesday and partly cloudy skies, but we'll see a pretty good cool down over the weekend with a potent cold front. 59, 65, 69 on Friday with windy southerly winds, PM showers across northern portions of the Wasatch Front, and then a huge cool down by Saturday with rain in the forecast and even cooler on Sunday. And we're just going to mainly remain cool and unsettled thereafter. We do have one incident here at US 40 in the Wasatch Back between Park City and Heber, depending on your direction, whether you're going to Park City or to Heber. You can see that here. It's on westbound. There's that accident there. They are looking at an estimated cleanup time here in the next 20 minutes, but let's head over to Tooele, where things are running smoothly here between Tooele, Lake Point, and then the UT 201, 202 kind of interchange there. Everything's running smoothly. So overall, drive times here to and from Tooele looking A-OK, as well as along the UT 201, Highway 201 route as well. Normal drive times.
All right, thank you much, Adam. The time now is 6:27, and we do have breaking news overnight in Atlanta. A deadly shooting spree is raising new concerns about Asian Americans being targeted across the country. A man opened fire at several spas in Atlanta, killing 8 people.
This comes as Congress prepares to hold a hearing tomorrow on the disturbing increase in violent attacks across the country targeting people of Asian descent. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest.
This morning, the FBI is now investigating a shooting spree that left 8 people dead at multiple massage parlors in the Atlanta area. Police first identified 21-year-old Robert Long as the suspect in a shooting that killed 4 people at a spa in Cherokee County, Georgia. About 1 hour later, investigators say a gunman matching Long's description walked into 2 other massage parlors in Atlanta, killing 4 more people.
It appears that all victims are female.
And race?
It appears that they may be Asian.
Atlanta police then dispatching officers to check nearby similar businesses.
This started up in Cherokee County. My understanding, they shot up a spa up there. They've shot up 2 spas here in Zone 2. So we need to make sure if we have any Asian spas, we need to be checking on them.
Police capture Long after a brief pursuit. This morning, investigators say it's extremely likely he's connected to all 3 shootings. 6 of the 8 victims are of Asian descent. Authorities are now trying to determine a motive and whether race played a role. Racially motivated attacks targeting Asian Americans have been on the rise nationwide. Overnight, the New York City Police Department's counterterrorism unit said it's deploying assets to our great Asian communities across the city out of an abundance of caution. Police in Oakland, California, the scene of several recent attacks on Asians, say they're also monitoring the Georgia shootings. An Asian American advocacy group saying this latest attack will only exacerbate the fear and pain that the Asian American community continues to endure. Police did not release the victim's name, and even though they haven't released a motive, the #1 trend on Twitter overnight was #StopAsianHate. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
All right, and check out this close call in Idaho. A pickup truck carrying a couple and their dogs went over the Malag Gorge Bridge yesterday and left the truck dangling over the edge. Look at the video here. A safety chain hooked to the trailer was the only thing keeping that truck from dropping more than 100 feet into the canyon below. Idaho State Police say the driver simply lost control, swerved, and then went over the guardrail. Crews had to rappel down to rescue that couple and their dogs, but they are okay.
Incredible. All right, still ahead on Good Morning Utah. St. Patrick's Day spending down this year, but businesses are still hoping the celebration gives them a boost. What local bars are doing for the holiday coming up in a live report. Plus, a salmonella outbreak is killing birds across Utah. How you can stop the spread in your own backyard coming up in a live interview.
Live from Utah's first TV station, Good Morning Utah at 6:30 starts now.
Good morning, Utah. I'm Sarah Martin.
And I'm Brian Carlson. The time 6:31 on this Wednesday.
This year, St. Patrick's Day could be coming at just the right time. It's usually a big moneymaker for bars and restaurants, and although spending is slated to be down with COVID-19 this year, it still might carry the economic luck many businesses need. ABC4's Jared Jatnini is live downtown Salt Lake with why these businesses are optimistic. Good morning, Jared.
Good morning. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, usually a time for friends and family to celebrate the Irish culture over food and drink. At a restaurant or a bar, this is the first holiday after Governor Cox announced mass vaccines come April 1st, and experts are saying that could stimulate people to spend some money. And that's because, according to the National Retail Federation, nationwide St. Patrick's Day spending is down by just over $1 million. Americans expected to spend $5.14 billion today, compared to $6.16 billion last year. Also, the amount of people celebrating inside a bar or restaurant is down. The NRF reporting 10% of Americans plan to celebrate at an establishment compared to 27% last year. And while downtown bars and restaurants remain hopeful, the Salt Lake Alliance says this holiday marks the beginning of returning to some normalcy.
Bars and restaurants downtown are ready for St. Patrick's Day. It's also going to be a ramp up to additional activity in the coming weeks as Capitol Theater, Abravanel, Vivint Arena start to program concerts that really drive dining and bar activity downtown.
The downtown area is in the moderate transmission level of the pandemic, so there are still strict social distancing guidelines in place. People and workers must wear a face mask. More tables are allowed to be sat inside. Back out here live, we are at O'Shucks Bar and Grill downtown. You can see they have a list of specials to stimulate people to come out and spend some money. This is a half Irish pub, half sushi joint. Not sure how they came about that, but if you plan on coming out here this afternoon, they plan on having a bagpipe performance sometime this afternoon to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Live, Jared Jatnini, ABC4 News.
Thanks, Jared. Bagpipes and sushi. What more could you ask for? The time now is 6:34. The immigration situation at the southern border is now worsening by the day. Thousands of unaccompanied immigrant children are overrunning border facilities meant for adults. And Homeland Security is bracing for even more. President Joe Biden telling immigrants not to come. ABC's Andrew Dimbert is in Washington with the latest.
A humanitarian crisis brewing at the border. The U.S. immigration system strained as a surge of migrant arrivals desperately tried to reach U.S. soil. More than 4,200 are children housed in government-run detention facilities. Now, questions are mounting for a White House still not allowing journalists inside. But two lawyers who were let in paint the troubling picture of the inhumane conditions for the unaccompanied children, some forced to sleep on floors. Around 40 to 50 kids without their parents sharing spaces like these.
That is where they would spend their entire day.
The facilities, many designed to hold single adult men for just 24 hours, have been home for some children for up to 2 months. This crying mother describes the disturbing conditions her two sons from Honduras endured before being reunited, saying it was agony what they went through. The number of children making the journey without their parents jumping 25% since last week. In an exclusive interview with ABC News, President Joe Biden says his message to migrants is,
don't come, and what we're in the process of getting set up, don't leave your town or city or community.
When asked if it was a mistake not to anticipate this surge, Biden saying this also happened during the Trump presidency.
Well, first of all, there was a surge the last 2 years in 19 and 20.
This one might be worse.
No, well, it could be, but here's the deal. We're sending back people.
The administration now turning a convention center in Dallas, Texas to hold 3,000 teenage boys for up to 90 days as the struggles to find safe spaces looms large. And now the Biden administration says it's bringing in FEMA to help open new temporary facilities. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.
Well, welcome to your weather on the 4s, and we are looking at dense fog around Cedar City right now, including the Cedar City Airport on the Southern Utah University camera network. This is an area you just got to be careful here driving along I-15 because of that fog. And looking at it here a little bit closer, area of half a mile visibility, and this red area is a quarter mile, and that is hugging right along the I-15 just south of the downtown area. So this is going to be a place that you just want to keep an eye out for and maybe drive a little bit slower during this section of road. But high pressure, you can see, is moving into place. We had some snow showers overnight, though, across the Elko area, Elko County area, but overall, mainly clear skies out there, though the mountains will likely hold on to some clouds during the day. 30 in Hanksville, Cedar City, Blanding, 39 Wendover, 36 Provo, 42 Salt Lake, 36 in St. George as well. And we're going to continue to see those temperatures get into the upper 30s here through the rest of the morning hours. It should be quiet and dry. Have that extra layer at least to start the day. You won't need it by the end of it, though, because of the fact that we're going to be near to above average in the north and near to below average in the south, and definitely several degrees below average in St. George, which is normally this time of year 68 for that daytime high. We still have one little incident out there across the US 40 section between Park City and Heber, but up in far northern Utah, Sardine, heading over the pass, no problems whatsoever. What about I-84? No problems there either.
All right, looks good. Thank you much, Adam. The time now is 6:37. Coming up on GMU, retail stores saw a dip in sales this winter. See how storms across the country have affected shoppers in your Good Morning Utah business report. Plus, Ireland is celebrating St. Patrick's Day early. See how they lit up the sky in green.
You're watching Good Morning Utah with Brian Carlson, Sarah Martin, and Adam Carroll.
Welcome back, Utah. Our wildlife is one of the jewels of our state, but right now a piece of it is in danger. A salmonella outbreak is killing birds right here in Utah. Experts say one way birds are getting it is through infected bird feeders. Some species really rely on bird feeders throughout the cold winter months, but they could be doing more harm than good. So how can you help the birds in your area? Joining me to tell us more, Adam Brewerton, a wildlife conservation biologist with the Department of Wildlife Resources. Adam, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Sounds like a very important topic.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
So salmonella, I didn't realize that birds or animals could catch salmonella. Why is it so dangerous?
Right. So salmonella is, it's the same type of salmonella that we hear about that, can contaminate other things like lettuce or whatever when there's concerns like that. But birds are just like any other animal in the sense that they can get diseases, they can get sick, and, they can potentially die from it. So salmonella it's a strain that runs through bird populations. It's relatively common for them to get it, but it's not common to see the number of cases that we're currently seeing.
Got it. So can we go into that a little more? What kinds of birds are we talking about? What are the numbers that you're seeing at this point?
Right. So it's hard to say exactly about numbers. Word that we started to get from the Rehabilitator Center in Ogden is that they were starting to see 40 plus more cases than they would normally see of sick birds coming in. And then the types of birds that we're talking about are mostly birds within the finch family. So pine siskins, house finches, Cassin's finches are the majority of the birds that we've seen, but we have seen other birds with it too.
Got it. And it sounds like birds that we would recognize because they're the ones that are going to be around our homes and in our neighborhoods eating out of those bird feeders.
Right, exactly. It's the birds that frequent the backyard bird feeders.
Got it. So let's talk about what can we do about this? What are we seeing in those bird feeders?
Right. So, anytime we feed wildlife of any kind, there's always a concern of bringing individuals together that can transfer diseases one to another. So this isn't necessarily unique to just birds, but the easiest way to deal with it is to just clean bird feeders regularly. I've kind of started to remind people that it's just like food safety handling in our own homes or at a restaurant, that if the area is dirty, that's just a place that germs can grow. So cleaning bird feeders is always a regular recommendation. Something like monthly or seasonally is good practice. Right now, because of this outbreak, we're asking people to clean their feeders at least weekly, if not more often.
So cleaning those feeders at least weekly. Honestly, I've never considered cleaning a bird feeder. I have family members who use bird feeders regularly and love them, and they're so fun, right? They bring birds and wildlife into our yards that we can see, but cleaning those are so important. I would imagine, especially during the springtime when we're seeing a lot of rain and snow accumulation, that can kind of sit and pool and create those bacteria-ridden areas.
Yeah, exactly. And as the temperatures warm up, it just makes it a great conditions for bacteria to grow.
Got it. Okay, so we're asking people to clean those bird feeders at least weekly. Are there any chemicals you want them to avoid? We've just got a couple seconds here.
Right. The easiest way to clean them is just use a bleach solution. So a 10% bleach, and immerse it, wipe it down, let it dry for a half hour.
Okay, we're speaking with Adam Brewerton this morning, wildlife conservation biologist with the DWR. Adam, thanks so much for this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
By the time now, 6:45, let's check your weather for St. Patrick's Day, Adam. If you like sunshine today, you're in luck.
That's right, but you know what? Yesterday, Brian, they saw another inch of snow in St. George. Can you believe that? And they are at 2.5 inches for the month in St. George. We have seen a trace in Salt Lake City. This is a weird month, not only a month, but a weird winter, because the last time in the month of March that St. George has had more snow than Salt Lake to date was back in 1894 when they had 4 inches compared to Salt Lake's 3.7. That is crazy to think, and who knows for how much more, if any, snow we're going to get for the remainder of the month in Salt Lake. 29 in Logan, 37 Ogden, 42 Salt Lake, 36 Provo, and in St. George it's 36. However, the Wasatch back, 21 in Timber Lakes, 30 in Oakley, 23 Alta, 30 in Midway. The Uinta Basin shows 36 Vernal, 31 Altamont, 33 Mighton, 30 in Manila, 32 East Carbon, 28 Richfield, 31 Gunnison, 34 in Fillmore. 20s and 30s across southeastern Utah with 33 in Monticello, 32 Bluff, 31 Escalante, and then over into southwestern Utah, 36 St. George, 26 Bryce, 18 Bryan Head, and 30 in Caliente. Now, school day forecast shows 40s, 50s, and near 60 by the 3, 4, and 5 p.m. hours as just a very, very nice day is setting up under mostly sunny skies. Perfect timing for St. Patrick's Day. And the Southeast is getting ready for a very severe, serious, difficult day ahead of them into the overnight hours as an area of low pressure is going to be arriving, but ahead of it is a strong cold front that is pretty much ripe for the pickings for high threat of tornadoes and also severe weather in this part of the country. Last time they were in the highest risk category in March was 9 years ago. High pressure, though, are locally across our neck of the woods, but mostly sunny skies and slightly to above normal temperatures for most of the area today. More clouds tomorrow, breezier as well, ahead of a front that brings a lot of wind on Friday, even warmer temperatures, and then some wet weather behind it. So really staying dry thereafter, but average high compared to forecast high, we're right there for the most part here for most of the area. However, St. George is still going to be below average by several degrees. 59 though in Salt Lake, 58 Elko, 58 Moab, 61 St. George, 43 Rock Springs. Mountains will see a little bit more clouds than the valleys, but 70 and 75 here Thursday and Friday in St. George, and then a cool down because of a cold front coming through, but we're going to stay breezy for the first day of spring. For the Wasatch Front, 59, 65, 69, windy on Friday ahead of a storm system that brings late day showers into the northern part of the area, and then a big cool down for Saturday with more rain. Still looking at an accident here that's still getting cleaned up along US 40. You can see that there. That hasn't really done a whole lot with traffic, but as far as Tooele goes, not too bad as well. Not too bad either. But hang around because in a little bit we're going to be heading over to Utah CW30 at 7 for more news, weather, and traffic.
All right, thanks, Adam. Time now for news around the world. A missile attack killed 2 people, wounded 7 others in Yemen yesterday. That missile exploded at a busy market in the eastern city of Marib. A rebel military coalition launched that attack. Conflicts in Yemen have raged and grown over the past 6 years. Israel launched a missile attack in the suburbs of Syria's capital yesterday. Then Syria responded, deploying air defense in response to that attack. So far, no details on injuries. Israel has launched hundreds of strikes against the Iranian military in Syria over the past year. And Iceland is on high alert this morning for possible volcanic eruption near the capital. Tens of thousands of earthquakes have shaken the region in recent weeks near Reykjavik, possibly waking up a volcano that's been dormant for 800 years. Experts don't expect those explosions to be overly violent, but people are on standby. That's your news around the world.
And in your business news, winter storms now slowing down retail sales and a computer chip shortage hurting another car company. Here's your Good Morning Utah business report. A bit of a dip for both retail sales and manufacturing across the country. The Commerce Department says sales fell about 3% in February compared to the month before. January's big jumps were fueled by stimulus payments in December. The Fed says industrial production fell 2.2% in February, due in part to winter storms. And stock markets sliding a fraction as investors keep an eye on the Fed's two-day policy meeting and wait for word on where interest rates may go. The Dow closed down 0.4 of a point and the S&P lost nearly 0.2. Plus, shortages of computer chips forcing another car maker to scale back production. Honda now says it will stop work on cars at a majority of its U.S. and Canadian plants for a week. But the company says employees will still have an opportunity to work at the affected plants. And finally, beef headed from the U.S. to Japan is about to get hit with higher tariffs. Japanese officials temporarily raising tariffs on American beef, with shipments into Japan rising above 242,000 tons, breaking the limits put in place. And that's your Good Morning Utah business report.
Now to South Salt Lake. Police have arrested a man connected to a murder there this weekend thanks to tips from the public. The murder happened near 2200 South 4th East early Saturday morning. A multi-day search led investigators to 24-year-old Ashish Bishwa. They say he shot his friend, 26-year-old Mustafa Hassini, over a cigarette. Thanks to tips from the public, investigators found Bishwa not too far from his townhome last night.
By sharing information, providing critical tips, and responding to our request for assistance, it takes the entire community to keep the entire community safe.
Police tell us the suspect had a long rap sheet including robbery and possession of a weapon by a restricted person.
In a Utah County, man who allegedly took out a gun and started firing at police from his balcony is now in custody this morning. It follows a nearly 6-hour SWAT standoff yesterday in Pleasant Grove near 5th North and 5th East. Police say the man had started firing the gun from his balcony and even shot at officers as they responded to the home. Neighbors had to shelter in place while police used gas to get the man out of the house. The man eventually surrendered.
There's mental health issues here that have gone untreated. I understand this individual is a lot different when he's on his medication, but so yeah, it's a mental health issue.
Now, police took the man to a local hospital to be checked out both physically and mentally.
The search for that hiker lost in American Fork Canyon has come to a tragic end. The Utah County Sheriff's Office found a body yesterday morning near a parking lot in American Fork Canyon. They do believe it is likely 28-year-old Bobby Healy of Saratoga Springs. He's been missing since Sunday. Crews eventually spotted that body using a helicopter. They say it looks like they fell about 200 feet down a cliff.
You know, something like this is almost indescribable for family. They're having a difficult time.
At least we're able to bring some closure to the family.
The medical examiner still does need to positively identify the body. They hope to have confirmation soon.
And a man in Little Cottonwood Canyon now being charged for trying to destroy trees, blocking his view at Snowbird. Police say 77-year-old Gabor Colte dumped gallons of fuel on trees owned by Snowbird back in November. He claimed they blocked his view. He's now charged with criminal mischief. The damage estimated at more than $20,000.
Utah Highway Patrol will be out in full force tonight to keep everyone safe on St. Patrick's Day. More than 50 DUI enforcement shifts have been added to help keep drunk drivers off of roads. Troopers say the number of alcohol-related crashes definitely increases on this holiday. Over the past 4 years, there's been an average of 22 alcohol-related crashes across Utah on St. Patrick's Day.
If you want to celebrate St. Patrick's Day the traditional way this weekend, the city of Price is holding its annual parade. The parade runs down Main Street Saturday at noon. Face masks and social distancing are encouraged for people who are both watching the parade and those in the parade. So if you want to watch it from home, the parade will be live streamed on Price City's Facebook page.
All right, Adam, one last look at the St. Patty's Day forecast.
Well, you're going to absolutely love it because, like we've been talking about all morning, using some terminology, a pot of golden sunshine with some shamrockin' temps.
Exactly what I like to hear.
Exactly. I mean, when you're looking
making other states green with envy.
Oh, I love it. With that Irish jig dance later tonight as we celebrate safely, of course. But, you know, when you're dealing with near 60 degrees, it's going to be really an amazing day out there with mostly sunny skies. 61 in St. George, 70, then 75 here for the next 2 more days. Breezy conditions develop through the weekend and beyond that. Spring arrives on Saturday, but a cool down occurs because of a cold front that arrives here across the Wasatch Front and into southern Utah. The 59 today, 65 tomorrow, more clouds tomorrow, and we'll continue to see the sun and clouds on Friday, but we'll also see a passage of a cold front late Friday into Saturday that brings in some PM showers to far northern Utah, eventually through Salt Lake City and beyond that. But a big drop in temperature with the passage of the front and rain in the forecast for Saturday. And by the way, don't forget that Lagoon opens on Saturday, and it really will not be a great day for that, unfortunately. So maybe hang on and wait until you have a better weekend. But overall, we're looking at still an accident here in US 40, but we had a new one that just popped up that I'll look at here in the next 10 minutes. Overall, though, if you're heading along I-215, hey, everything's running smooth. And you can see that here with those drive times here, both on the west belt and on the east belt.
Magically delicious. Thank you, Adam. All right, it's birthday time. This is Brandt Nielsen.
Oh, look at that face.
Look at that smile right there. He's a happy kid, isn't
he? So cute.
He turned 1 yesterday. And his family says he loves to play with his older brother, ride on the horse with Dad, and have his mom dote on him. They say he's very curious, empties any cupboard he can open.
An adorable little terror, I'm sure, in the kitchen.
Right? You have to watch where he's going. What did he get into today? Yep. Happy birthday, Brandt. If you want to celebrate with us, email us your photos to news@abc4.com and put in the subject line, baby birthday.
All right, let's go to Ireland this morning, shall we? On this St. Paddy's Day, they celebrated last night with a really awesome light show.
Cool.
So 500 drones flew over Dublin last night celebrating the holiday. Look at this. These are drones.
Isn't that wild?
This is Ireland in the sky.
Amazing.
That's drones.
It blows my mind what science can do these days.
They're just like so precise, you know, like you imagine them to be a little wavy because they're in the sky.
Nope.
But no.
Look at that. And that's the world right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty remarkable
Crazy.
what we've come with now these days.
500 drones, orchestra of light, they called the show. Pretty cool.
Very cool. There you go. So celebrate with a little light, a little luck. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody today. Thanks for making this part of your morning.
We'll be right back here tomorrow, but stick with us. Hop over to CW30 for GMU at 7. More local news headlines.
So you saw a live look outside for St. Patrick's Day. I'll give you one right here in Utah. Things pretty calm out there. We got our blue out there today. The blue sky that's showing up here.
But the red weather ball.
Which means warmer weather's ahead. More GMU ahead on CW right after this.